You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Let's have a look at our build-up structure. Okay, everyone knows we play a 3-1-6 system, meaning we've got 1, 2, 3 in the back line, Kobe Manu as the 1 in midfield, and the rest are all pushed up. So in theory, what's meant to happen is our 6 attackers is supposed to pin the Liverpool defenders back, right? And then our back 3 is supposed to find Kobe with the ball, and then Kobe's meant to look up and, he's got a bunch of options he can pass to. Now that's what's supposed to happen. But what usually happens is Kobe in the middle of the park just gets absolutely overworked. So we can see that the ball is with De Ligt right now over here. It's come from Casemiro. And every time the ball shifts, so has Kobe. Right? Kobe starts in the middle of the pitch, and then he's got to come to where the ball is. It's all good and dandy, but what's not so good is when the ball gets swung, okay, basketball term, when the ball gets played to the other side, then Kobe has to make the trek all the way over here again. Yeah, to help out in the build-up play on that side. Now, asking a 19-year-old, remember, our star boy is 19 years of age, asking him to go back and forth all game, even though, yes, that's what midfielders should do, but he's 19, that's got to be wearing him out. And another thing we have to talk about is how high our wing backs are. So Mazraoui is here, Dallo is on the far side there. You can see our back 3 is matched up one-on-one with the Liverpool's front 3. So if somehow the ball gets lost, which we'll see later in the game, if this pass doesn't make it, or this pass doesn't make it, it's just 3-on-3. 3-on-3 all day long. And that's what happened later on in the game. We actually started really brightly. Leach is going to play it out wide, and Dowell's going to play to Rashford. And Rashford is going to get it, and Dowell's going to continue his run. Rashford's going to lay it off. Dallo actually kind of overruns it a bit, and Trent gets his foot on the ball, but Dallo just crunches into him and just keeps on trucking. Dallo's on the edge of the box now. He's going to delay, wait for Marcus to make that overlapping run, and he's going to find him. And Rashford gets into this position. Questions about the ball being out, but he tries to cut it back, but the defender clears. Now look, it's a very positive start. 1 minute later, we're in again. Bruno picks up the ball here. It's 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2, 3 with Bruno and these guys tracking back. But we get to the edge of the box. Bruno's here, shadowed by this guy. He plays his ball to Xerxes. It seems like an easy enough ball. I mean, shades of last game, right? Against Brighton. It should just be a nice little soft layoff, and maybe Xerxes can hit it first time with his left, or maybe, let it come across his body and curl it in this way. But the pass is just way too strong. It just bounces off Xerxes. Like, it's hard to say it's a bad touch. Like, obviously, if it hits your foot, you should control it. But Bruno just smashes it out of it, and it's just a wasted opportunity again. A few minutes later, Liverpool have their first attack, and, this just shows how easy we are to play through at times. By the way, let's have a look at our structure. So our back 4 is all the way back here, and our front 6 is here. Pressing, okay, but let's see what happens. It just takes one ball through the lines, and we're done. Like, granted, it's a great ball. Van Dijk plays a ball that doesn't even look possible, but he plays it here to Gravenberch. Mainu's closing him down, but he kind of overruns it. So Gravenberch takes a nice touch, and with one touch, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players out of the game. This guy's scrambling to get back. And we want Casemiro to be here, right? But it's not his job. He's clearly being instructed to push up to help out in the press, which leaves this entire area just vacant. With one pass, our whole midfield is just bypassed. And let's have a look at last week. So this is us against Brighton last game. So look at their team, how compact it is. There's the back 4 or 5. There's the midfield and the attack. Like, look how compact it is. The whole team is right here. And then now have a look at us. We've got our back 4 here. Our midfield just got bypassed. Our forwards are here in the press. Look at the space. Look at this space. Again, for comparison, here's Brighton. Their entire team, very compact, very difficult to play through. Here's us. Look at this. Come on, man. And then, of course, Gravenberch is going to dribble all the way to the edge of the box because no one's going to stop him. Gravenberg makes it all the way to the edge of the box, lays it off to Diaz. Diaz gets into this position, tries to play it across. There's two people here to tap it in, but the ball is a little bit behind Salah. It hits Salah on the back foot, and bounces out towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold smashes it. It hits Dalot. It does hit Dalot, but it's across the line. And look at his friggin' smug face, man. He comes, kisses the camera, thinking he scores. Which, yeah, okay, congrats. The ball's crossed the line. Congrats. But guess what? When Diaz plays the ball across, Salah's in an offside position. It hits him, so it doesn't count. So Luis Diaz has the ball here, and Bruno and Mazraoui are frantically trying to close him down. And Bruno does steal the ball, right? And then he bounces it off Mazraoui and gets it back over here. And with his outside of the foot, plays a brilliant ball, which we know Bruno can do, even though he had not a great game passing wise this game, or just overall. Plays a beautiful ball for Alejandro Garnacho to run onto, and Garnacho finds himself here. Now Bruno is steaming to get in, but Xerxes is nowhere to be found. All right, we've got Rashford over here. And we know Xerxes is not that kind of, well, he's not a Rasmus Højlund type of player, right? So he's more like a McTominay, late arrival into the box. But that leaves no one in the box for Garnacho to aim to. And he tries to play the ball in. Bruno's trying to make this overlapping run. Kobe is trying to join in. Xerxes still not in the picture. Rashford's here. Maybe he should make this run. I don't know. But the ball ends up going to nobody. And then when Liverpool players pick it up, we can see Xerxes on the screen there. Now, I'm not pointing this out to blame it all on Xerxes, because he did track back and he was kind of part of winning the ball. But, you know, if Rasmus was here, he would be in the box, and maybe we would have had a different result there. And by the way, look at our possession stats. 25th minute, 63% possession to us, 37 to Liverpool. Oh, we did not have a bad start. Okay, it wasn't just Liverpool smashing us from the start. No, we won the ball back early at times. We were aggressive in the challenges, and it just all fell off. And what I appreciated was at times our team was much more compact in like a mid-block sort of shape. Before we saw how stretched it was from here all the way to here. But at points during the game, our team was much more compact, and I think that helped us get some control, some stability in the game. And moments like this didn't help. Bruno gets the ball up here. On any other day, it's a nice ball out wide to a charging Rashford, and maybe it's a one-on-one chance, you know, against Alisson, and it's a goal. But for some reason, today, just hopeless. The ball just didn't have any pace on it, just lacked everything that we know Bruno to be. You know, he could have lobbed it over the top for Rashford to go out onto. It was just terrible pass, and moments like this definitely do not help, especially when Liverpool is so clinical, and we'll see that later on. And by later, I mean right the freak now. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get into how we conceded our first goal. So again, we talked about our 3-1-6 build-up. Now this is starting way deep in our half, so it looks a little bit different. But this is our 3. Kobe is our midfielder, and our fullbacks, along with the rest of the team, are pushed way high up. Now, this is a situation where Onana can find Kobe with the ball, and he does. Kobe receives it, turns, he's in a bit of space, right? He's in quite a bit of space, and he can thread this ball straight through to Bruno, who's also in some space. So good so far. When Bruno gets the ball, I think he could probably play a first-time pass out here, just with his left foot, just play a first time out to Dalot, and then Dalot can run in, and maybe have like a 2-on-1 situation going. I think that's what he could have done. Or maybe a riskier option, he can play this ball for Xerxes to come onto, and yes, maybe that's a little bit more risky, but Xerxes got all this space to maybe take a touch, maybe play it back if he wants to, try to turn and maybe play in Garnacho. I don't know, but there were lots of options there. But what Bruno chooses to do is lay it back for Casemiro, who's off the screen. Okay, just decides to go back, which is not always the worst option. Okay, he goes back to Casemiro. Now, Casemiro gets the ball here. Let's play a little trivia. What pass should he play? Option A, Mazraoui. In acres of space. Not a difficult ball at all for a world-class player, or a player who used to be world-class. Let's have a look at the passes he shouldn't play. Option B. That's obviously not going to work. Option C to copy Manu. That's not going to work. Option D, option E, option F. Okay, maybe he could go long. Maybe he could lob it out there. But what he definitely should not do, just absolutely cannot do, is what he ended up doing. And we all know what ended up happening. He, for some absolutely strange reason, decided to drill a pass along the floor through all this traffic. And you can see Gravenberch, who ends up stealing the ball, gearing up just to pounce in there. Just looking at Mainu probably. Gravenberch probably knows that the ball's not going to go there. But lo and behold, the ball does go there. Like Mainu, look at Mainu. He's not even paying attention because like, well, surely that pass can't be for me. Surely this pass can't be for me. It's way too far behind me. But who was it meant to be to? Like, it wasn't lofted. And look at Dallo. He's like, what? He's got his arms out. He's like, bruh, what? And look, he's still in space. Xerxes is making a run. Maybe you could have found him. Rashford probably could have tried to find him there. Casemiro plays one pass that he just shouldn't. And it gets intercepted. And what do we talk about? Dallo, Mazraoui. Our fullbacks are really high. And what do we talk about? 1, 2, 3 matching up against Casemiro. Sandro Martinez is off the screen here. And we've got De Ligt off the screen here. It's 3-on-3. If we give the ball away, it's 3-on-3. And with Gravenberch picking the ball up, it's 4-on-3. Okay, and he's just got free reign. We saw this earlier in the game. We saw this. Gravenberch just marches all the way down. Cobby just isn't physically adept yet. Gravenberch's much older than him, even though he's young as well. Bruno trying to get back. Our fullbacks again. Fullback. Liverpool's front three. Szoboszlai. I mean, if we turn the ball over, this is what's going to happen every single time because our fullbacks are pushed up way too far forward. Gravenberch makes it all the way to the edge of the box, slips it through to Salah, and Salah gets in this position here with his right foot, plays a really nice lofted ball. Don't want to point it out again, but Dallo, Mazraoui, our fullbacks are really high, and that's by instruction, by the way. It's not like they're going rogue. We're seeing this time and time again, so it's definitely a Ten Hag instruction. So there's no way anyone's marking Diaz, no way anyone's marking Szoboszlai. They both end up going for the ball. Szoboszlai ducks at the last second, and it hits Luis Diaz. Onana can't really do anything about it, and he scores. And the man who turned the ball over puts his head down in shame. The Batman quote I've been referring to: "You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." Yeah, I don't know. It's really seeming that way for this man. But guess what? It would get even worse. But just before we get there, let's take a little respite and see an occasion where, either by design or by the player's initiative or whatever, where we kind of created a chance through a slightly different system. So we see the 3-1-6 again. And this is after the goal. So this is definitely an instruction. But here's a situation where Onana joins the back three. Okay? Which we thought he'd be doing a lot more, but he hasn't. Which leaves one of the other players free to join the midfield. So Dallo, who's usually pushed up, has come to the midfield spot. Yeah, this happens from time to time, rotation. But what's good is Casemiro's also here, so it's kind of like a double pivot. And what that does is draws the attention of more of the Liverpool players and gives them passing options. So Nana's going to play it out to Sandro Martinez. And Martinez gets it and plays a brave ball to Dallo, who's in the double pivot with Casemiro. And Dallo can turn and find his options, like Kobbie Mainoo would have done. So Dallo's going to turn, and he's got an option here. He's got maybe an option there, maybe an option there, maybe an option there. But he decides to spray it out wide. We don't see Bruno on screen, but he's there. He decides to cut inside and spray a nice ball out wide. And that ball reaches Bruno. He picks it up and tries to deliver a first-time cross to a sprinting Garnacho there. But it doesn't come off. Again, Bruno was a little bit off today on everything. So it ends up clashing off Robertson. But what that does is it goes nicely into the path of Mazraoui. And Mazraoui picks the ball up here, shoots, goes straight in between Van Dijk's legs. On target. But Alisson, even though he was probably unsighted, saves it. And this image is probably the best thing that's come out of the game. The moment of truth, the second goal. Now, let's start here. So Mazraoui has the ball. We just got the ball back from Liverpool, okay, and we're trying to play out. And Mazraoui decides to play the ball to Casemiro here. Now, a valid question needs to be raised is, did Mazraoui put Casemiro in a bad situation? Did he put him in an impossible situation where he had no options and, had to lose the ball? Well, he's got this guy that are probably going to close on him, but he does have space in front of him. And he does have Bruno here, have Xerxes here. So I don't think Mazraoui put him in a terrible situation. Casemiro decides to turn, and even now, he's got this pass open, right? Yes, these two are closing in, but if you put some velocity on it, that pass should be open. Or maybe a little pass here. Bruno comes onto it and he plays it back, and we reset. Or what he probably should have done is, instead of even turning, he could have played it back to Mazraoui or back to De Ligt there, and we would have kept the ball. But he decides to take a couple strides, and of course, Luis Diaz catches him up. I thought it was a foul in real time, but maybe he gets a slight touch on replay. We know this guy, Anthony Taylor. He's not going to call a foul. He's not going to blow a whistle against Manchester United. Nope, just not going to do it. Or for Manchester United, rather. And again, it's a turnover. So the ball ends up finding its way to Salah here. But if you look at this picture, we should kind of have this covered. Okay, Dalot is near enough. Fernandez can lend a hand here or watch here. Manu can watch here or watch Diaz maybe. But 1, 2, 3 against 2 in the box, it's a textbook situation. Defense outnumbering the attack, and we should quell this really. So what happens is Salah plays a nifty ball with the outside of his foot towards Diaz. Okay, and we're starting to see a worrying trend where Diogo Dalot just does not block crosses. We know Salah is left-footed, and he's very, very dominantly left-footed. Okay, he does have a right foot. He got an assist with a right foot this game, but he's very dominantly left-footed. So he should probably position his body so that, he prevents this from happening. Where he prevents Salah from using his left foot to play the ball in. But even still, I don't know how Salah managed to squeeze it through these two players and squeeze it past Martinez. And when the ball gets to Diaz, Martinez doesn't even stick a foot out because he was caught off guard, right? And it gets to Diaz and he plays, and his finish was brilliant as well. It starts outside the post, curls in. Even though Onana has the angle covered, the velocity and the trajectory of the ball just beats him. I don't know how this goal even went in. It was clinical. If you want the definition of clinical, this is it. Salah to Diaz, one touch, bang, goal. And we have to look at this stupid mug. We have to look at this stupid mug, and this stupid mug coming to kiss the camera again. And this mug, alright, maybe this is a bit harsh. And we see Casemiro on the ground looking at the ball, saying, should I grab the ball? It's just so sad, man. I'm so lost for words. For a former world-class player, I've never seen a former world-class player lose confidence like this. After this moment, you could just see Casemiro just lost all confidence. And you'll see clips online of him doing just weird stuff on the ball. I feel bad for him in a way, but you can't be making this kind of mistake at this level. The mistakes were so egregious that 20-year-old Toby Collier, who looks like a real player, what he brings is mobility more than anything, which we desperately need. And Ugartec's going to come in for that, which, okay, that's a tangent, but yeah, I'm glad they made the sub. And is that the end for Casemiro? Let me know in the comments. And Collier would actually be quite involved in the second half, which was great to see. He got thrown in the deep end, 2-0 down. Fans were frustrated, and he came in and did a job, which good on him. So again, this is a scenario where Dallow's inverted into midfield. And again, look, 1, 2, Colby's here, Collier's here. We've got 3 options in midfield. And Rashford's here in space. Now, I think this is a key. The 3-1-6, Colby's just way too isolated. If we have options in midfield, like City do, like Arsenal do, like Chelsea do, all the good teams have options in midfield, and we don't for some reason. I think that's the key to us improving. But anyway, look at Collier's movement here. So Dalot is going to play the ball out to Rashford. And as Rashford plays it into Manu, Collier is just going to run. This is mobility that Casemiro just can't match anymore. I'm not saying Kobe's a better player or anything. It's just the mobility, the legs, he just can't match. This guy's 20 years old. He's like a decade, more than a decade younger than Casemiro. He should be able to run. And as Kobe receives the ball, you can see Collier is running. It's like, give me the ball. And Kobe obliges. And Collier gets his head onto the ball, knocks it down straight into the path of Xerxes, who's coming in. Again, late runs into the box. This is the kind of stuff where it's useful. Collier kind of playing the McTominay role there, which is interesting, even though that's not a job. The ball falls really nicely. Collier nods it down really nicely to Xerxes, and he tries to bend it, but it's not too troublesome for Allison. But again, straight away, you can see what Collier offers over Casemiro. And for this team, where the midfielders have to cover a lot of ground, maybe it's just a better fit. But now we get to the moment that I've been dreading, and that's a mistake by Colby to lead to the third goal. Again, theme of the video. 1, 2, 3, 1. Everyone else pushed up. Even Collier, who could have been dropping in there to provide another passing option. Obviously, it's instructions to go forward. So the ball's found its way to Mazraoui, and Mazraoui is going to play it to Kobe. Again, he's in a box. He's in a little bit of space, but he's got a box of Liverpool players surrounding him. So probably the safest option, maybe he can play it out there, or probably the safest option is playing it back to Sandro Martinez off the screen. But maybe it's just fatigue, mental or physical. Kobe just dawdles on the ball a little bit. The box gets tighter, and this guy McAllister comes in and puts a challenge in. Kobe gets a nudge at the back from McAllister, or maybe shoulder to shoulder. Hard to tell. Anthony Taylor, we know, is not going to blow the whistle. And again, if we lose the ball, there, look at all these Liverpool attackers. Look at all this space. We got one guy. There's players off the camera, but look how hilarious this looks. We got 4 players bearing down on the goal if we lose it, which we do, and it's just Mazraoui by himself. Yes, there's someone here. Yes, there's someone here. But look, Dallo is up the pitch again. How many times have we pointed it out? Salah is just eating. And again, obviously, we turn the ball over, and that's an easy ball there. He's going. He's going. He's going. And Dallo's trying to get back. It's just so sad, man. How many times this game has Dallo had to look at this bloody stupid ass 11 on Salah's back while running towards his own goal? And Szoboszlai carries it to the edge of the box, plays it through to Salah. Salah hits it first time again, like Diaz hit it first time, and there's just so much room. There's just so much room on this side of the goal. Just so much gap on this side, and the ball's past him before he even dives. Oh, and look at this stupid mug, man. Look at him. These are Legolas, bloody Damien Priest. If you watch WWE, freaking chokeslam this guy, and the audacity, the absolute audacity to take this picture. Nah, nah. I can't even hate because he's such a good player, but I am hating. Far out, man. And this aerial shot before Kobe loses the ball, this really sums up the whole theme of the video. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got the one midfielder, and everyone else is up the pitch. Like, obviously, Eric Ten Hag is a much better tactician than me. I'm just, some random guy on YouTube talking about his favorite team, and Eric Ten Hag's forgotten more about football than I will ever know. Like, we all know that. But it's just not working. And the thing is, you have to be absolutely perfect. This 19-year-old kid, 19 years old, he has to be absolutely perfect for the system to work. One mistake, and you got all these players just barreling down on goal. Like, look look at this. Look how much space there is. And this is our fullback over here, there's no way he's gonna get back. Like, it's just too much on the players, I think. And I don't know. I really hope Ten Hag changes, but I somehow doubt that he will. And this 3-1-6 is going to go on, and we're going to have to hope for, I don't know, more perfect play, I guess. You can't lose the ball there. Casemiro lost the ball here. Casemiro lost the ball here. And it just leads to all kind of bad stuff. It's not like Liverpool broke us down systematically. That's not what happened. It's not like they play some intricate Barcelona tiki-taka football and broke us down. That's not what happened, right? It's just we give the ball away where we absolutely cannot give the ball away. The system is designed so that if you give the ball away there, we're going to get wrecked. And that's how we got wrecked. So maybe just end on a bit of a positive note. Let's break down some of the better offensive actions we had. So this is a situation where Bruno picks up the ball on the right wing. He plays the ball up and over towards Rashford. He doesn't quite have enough time before he gets closed down to take a shot towards the far post or anything. He ends up having to, snake dribble his way out to the edge of the box. And on the edge of the box, he actually plays a really delicious ball. Really delicious ball to the middle of the box. And Xerxes, who remember is 6'4", 6'4", against tiny Andy Robertson, climbs high. Ain't no mountain high enough. Xerxes climbs, just towering over Andy Robertson. He's got this entire side of the goal to aim at, but somehow just finds Allison, and it gets saved. Definitely should have scored. Definitely should be 3-1 here. And this is definitely more of a half chance. Ahmad, who's been substituted, gets into the game, plays a little clip to Lissandro Martinez, who's running in. This is like a post corner situation. And Leacher tries to pull out a bikey, which, if this went in, that would have been something. But yeah, it goes wide, half a chance. And then finally, this is probably, well, it's the second best chance of the game after the header. So Lissandro Martinez got the ball here. He plays a brave little ball through some bodies to Collier. Collier gets the ball. Rashford's kind of off screen here. Plays a nice little simple ball out wide. Rashford again plays a great ball to the back post, De Bruyne-esque, as Xerxes is steaming in. Again, this man is 6'4". Van Dijk is 6'5". So it's a real Dutch battle going on in here. I'm sure they've had some training sessions where they've gone against each other. The ball evades Van Dijk's foot. Van Dijk can't get there, and Xerxes is lunging to get there. Remember in the Brighton game, he lunged and he hit the ball and was offside. This time he lunges, gets contact on the ball, and he's got, again, this entire side to aim at. But unfortunately, it just goes wide. And that's 2 chances for him that he should have scored, but it's good that he's getting into those positions. And again, remember, he's 23. I think he's just turned 23. And he's a young player. He's been around the game at Bayern Munich since he was young, but at the top level of the game, being the main man, he hasn't really had that, so we have to afford him time, I think. I think some of the hate that he's getting online is just way over the top. Like saying, oh, Højlund would have scored that, like, who does that really help? We've got to encourage him. From this angle, like you can see, they're both stretching. They're doing some sort of dance routine, synchronized swimming. Maybe they should go to the Olympics or something. But yeah, he should have scored. He should have had 2 goals. But it's good that he's getting into those positions. Even the Brighton one, he was in position to score. So he's getting in there. Yeah, and it's just about building chemistry. Again, this is a new team, new players. Yeah, I'm sure the best is yet to come.